Hello everyone, how are you all? Welcome back to Sunya IAS guys. I hope you all are doing really good. And we are continuing with our mains article discussion series, which we have already started. And I am taking your this topic of the syllabus, that is moral thinkers and philosophers around the world, guys. Right. As we have already covered two lectures, two parts in this particular subtopic, and I have already told you that this subtopic is written in the GS4 syllabus, that is ethics syllabus, right? And again, I'll be telling you where it is written for the first time. Those students who are coming for the first time, I would request them to see the previous two lectures which we have already covered on Socrates and Plato. These two have been covered, guys. Already I am telling you that over here in this particular GS4 syllabus, which is I have taken it from the UPSC notification, guys. Right, in the notification they write it like ethics, integrity, aptitude, and every year 1 to 2 questions are fixed from this particular contribution of moral thinkers and philosophers around the world. And I have already told you in the previous lectures that how the questions are coming. That's why those who are coming directly to this video, I would request them to see the previous video first. In continuity, if you will see, you will be more connected and you will be retaining things more, right? So you are seeing that they are giving any statement said by any moral thinkers, great philosophers, or said by these great leaders, reformers, or administrators. And then they want you to elucidate it, explain it, what do you understand by it. तो हम किस हिसाब से समझ रहे हैं इन पर्टिकुलर पर्सनालिटीज को? वी आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग देयर सिचुएशंस, we are understanding what they have given as a philosophers, their crux from the ethical point of view, not from the philosophical point of view, not from the political point of view, not from the social point of view, but for ethics. For one or two questions we are keeping it fixed. I have already told you that how we are proceeding. We are proceeding with Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. Then we have to cover these 12, right? And already we have covered Socrates and Plato, and in this lecture we will be seeing Aristotle, guys. So if let me check how much you remember about Socrates, if it will come. Socrates, Plato. In the previous two lectures, I'm just doing a recap of what we have seen. Just a quick recap. Whatever you have understood about Socrates. You will say that Socrates and Plato were existing during the 4th, 5th century BCE in the ancient Greek. They were there. Basically in Athens, I have already shown you in the map. So Socrates, if I ask you the crux, Socrates basically was the first person to basically deal with not only what constitutes life, but what is a good life. When he has given this good life concept, that what is a good life. So ethics has emerged. Good life means you have to be virtuous. And virtuous will make you happy. Being virtuous will make you happy, and ultimate purpose is happiness. Already told you that how you will decide that this is happiness. One happiness is coming from money and power. This is wrong. And this is saying of sophist. Because this will not give you ultimate happiness. Ultimate happiness will be given to you by being virtuous, by having virtuous quality, and by performing this dialectics, that it will tell you that are you having false happiness, false consciousness, or true happiness or true consciousness. Right, I have already told you about Socrates. These words you have to apply in the answers, whatever statement will come, guys. Plato, then I am telling you, Plato has given several things. Plato has given some theory of idea and form. He has talked about the ideal world, and that ideal world was the world of or kingdom of God. Listen to me, guys. If I write it very neatly, then that lecture would be extended, right? And I do not want to take your time over here by writing very neatly, and just try to understand by what I am speaking, right? So this idea, he was talking about the kingdom of idea. That means kingdom of God, the perfection, जिसको हम परमात्मा बोलते हैं, परमात्मा से जाके जुड़ना, ठीक है, हेवन, जन्नत, वहां पर सब कुछ सही हो रहा है. तो Plato was dealing with this, that there is idea, that whatever we are seeing, it is just the shadow of idea. Idea मतलब kingdom of God. He also gave theory of soul. He classified several people on the basis of appetite, courage, and reason. And he asked that if you want to work fine, then reason should dominate over courage. Courage should dominate over appetite. And this already we have studied, guys, right? And when we have studied the theory of justice, that how you have to be justice is, as per Plato, doing one's own duty, justice is not to harm someone. If your actions are harming someone, then you are not doing justice. Again, justice is for all, not for strong and not for the weak. This was the crux in the last lectures which we have seen from the Socrates and Plato. Okay, this was part 1, this was part 2, and now we are moving ahead. As I have told you, Socrates, Plato and Aristotle, we study it in Trinity only. Why? Because these are one another students. Plato was the student of Socrates and Aristotle was the student of Plato. You should understand that Aristotle is also known as the father of political science. Plato was known as the father of political philosophy. तो इसको पॉलिटिकल एंगल से काफी देखा जाता है पॉलिटिकल साइंस में, राइट? बट वी आर सीइंग इट फ्रॉम द एथिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. तो एरिस्टोटल में इतना ज्यादा समझने का नहीं है, बहुत ही बेसिक चीजें जो हमें समझनी है. So understand, Aristotle is the student. Aristotle, it is being said that Aristotle is the greatest follower of Plato and also the greatest critique of Plato. Why? He used to say that Plato is living in the world of illusion, world of idea. Means he is living actually in the ideal world, which is not existing in real. And Plato does not believe in the physical matter. Means what we are seeing, what we are hearing, he consider itself a illusion. Whereas his student Aristotle comes and Aristotle says that physical matter is existing and we cannot ignore it. Right? He is saying that observation is also something. I am observing this thing. How can I ignore this physical matter? How I can say that this is mere illusion? So I will believe in the observation also, what I am observing, and I believe that this is also truth. And also I believe in the spiritual things also, the world of ideas, which is very idealistic to achieve, to think, right? I am believing also in this. He is saying that rather than going for the two extremes, मैं आपको क्रक्स में बता देता हूँ अरिस्टोटल क्या बोलना चाह रहा था. वो कह रहा है फिजिकल मैटर जो हम देख रहे हैं वो भी एग्जिस्ट करता है, एंड वर्ल्ड ऑफ आइडियाज मींस किंगडम ऑफ गॉड इज आल्सो एग्जिस्टिंग. That means कहीं ना कहीं, are you not understanding that he is talking about the dualism or भेद अभेद, dualism philosophy of whom? The Bhakti saints, Vallabhacharya, Madhavacharya and all, they gave this भेद अभेद, right? I hope you are Dvaitavad and all, I hope you are remembering, right? तो यहाँ पर भी same Aristotle is talking about, and again Aristotle is existing in which time period? In the same time period, guys, 3rd 4th century BC, basically in 300 to 400 BC. ऐसे नहीं लिखते BC को हमेशा, I have already told you, हम टाइम में पीछे आते हैं, 400 to 300 BC. He was existing. In the same time when Morans were there, Bhakti saints तो बहुत later on आए, 800, 900, 1000 AD, AD में है वो, आने वाले कुछ हजार साल बाद हमारे भक्ति सेंट्स आए. लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं बातें चल रही हैं, फिजिकल मैटर को भी हम इग्नोर नहीं कर सकते, माया और इल्यूजन बोल के, स्पिरिचुअल थिंग्स को भी हम इग्नोर नहीं कर सकते. सो वी हैव टू गो फॉर द कॉमन सेंस. अरिस्टोटल टॉक अबाउट द कॉमन सेंस, दैट व्हाट वी आर सीइंग, हाउ कैन वी इग्नोर देम, एंड ही गेव द गोल्डन मीन पाथ. मींस यू शुड ऑलवेज गो फॉर द मीडियम पाथ, not two extremes you try to catch, that you have to be perfect. Plato was giving the theory of a perfect ideal state where philosopher king will be ruling, right? Whereas Aristotle told that we don't want everything to be ideal, something we have to accept also, and we have to go for this golden mean. If I ask you, in the same century, 6th century BC, in 600 to 500 BC, in India, who was existing, guys, who was saying the same thing, that you should go for Madhyam Marg? Madhyamika school also developed from that particular philosophy. That is Buddhist philosophy. Buddha was saying that. Buddha was teaching that never go for the two extremes. Never study for 16 hours. Never study for only 6 hours. You have to go for the medium path. At least on an average, study for 10, 11 hours daily. And you will achieve your goal. So in crux, Aristotle, golden mean. ठीक है? So Aristotle always, now you must be understanding a basic difference between Plato and Aristotle, but Aristotle always focused upon not only in contemplative function, कि आप सोचो कि world of idea में क्या चल रहा होगा और वही आपको implement करना है. He is saying that you first take action. आपको एक्शन लेना है in order to be good. You want to be good, what happening in particular world of ideas, you at least try to perform. Then after a long period of time, after doing the same things, performing good habits will make you virtuous. Ultimately you will be performing ethically, right? So over here his definition of leading a good life is, देखो, Socrates, Plato and Aristotle, SPA, SPA, are all thinking about good life. और शुरू किसने करा था? Socrates ने. So good is what proper function if you are doing. आपने एक कॉफी बनाई, वो या तो खराब हो सकती है तो गुड हो सकती है, गुड कॉफी का, ठीक है। हर चीज की गुड कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज होते हैं, बैड कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज होते हैं, हर चीज अच्छी भी होती है बुरी भी होती है, सेम करने का तरीका। सर आप बहुत अच्छा पढ़ा रहे हो, आपका पढ़ाने में मजा नहीं आया, ये दो चीजें भी हो सकती हैं। तो दैट मीन्स एक फंक्शन जब तक नहीं करोगे तब तक आपको पता नहीं चलेगा, राइट? सो राइट एक्शन इज कंड्यूसिव टू द गुड। एंड व्हाट इज द अल्टीमेट एम एज पर दिस पर्टिकुलर प्लाटो एंड Socrates or Plato, that you have to go for the ultimate good, that is the God, the kingdom of God, right? So for human beings, one word you will say eudaimonia. Eudaimonia is living well and doing well in the affairs of the world. So Aristotle used to say that you have to achieve excellence, virtue, what is good for, and how? By doing the proper function. So he always focused upon the action. तो अरिस्टोटल की कोई भी स्टेटमेंट आती है आप एक्शन ओरिएंटेड उसमें जरूर डालोगे, राइट? नाउ यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट अरिस्टोटल यूज्ड टू डिफरेंशिएट बिटवीन हैप्पीनेस एंड मॉरल वर्च्यू। Aristotle used to say that moral virtue is not the end of life, as it can go with inactivity. आप मैं आराम से बैठा हूं यहाँ पर कुछ नहीं कर रहा हूँ, still I can be morally virtue because I am believing in not stealing, I am believing saying truth, honesty, but मैं आलसी हूँ, ठीक है। आई एम नॉट हैप्पी बट आई बिलीव इन ऑल दिस, सो आई एम मॉरली वर्च्यू बट आई एम नॉट हैप्पी। आपने देखा होगा पीपल आर सेइंग दैट आई एम अ गुड पर्सन बट स्टिल आई एम नॉट हैप्पी। दैट मीन्स ही डिफरेंशिएटेड, इट इज नॉट इनफ टू बीइंग वर्चुअस एंड हैप्पी, बीइंग हैप्पी, right? Because Socrates, you have said, Socrates, you have seen that he has said that happiness is a virtue, right? So this is clear, and happiness now is the end of life, that to which all aims, because ultimately the purpose of life is happiness only. Socrates also say that, but it is activity oriented. You have to do something, you have to be in activity. Activity means action orientation, action oriented, right? Again, how he is saying that you have to develop a good character by practice. आप एक ही दिन में नहीं हो पाओगे, दो थोड़ा आपको हमेशा प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ेगा by performing good acts, then it will become a habit, then it will become a character, ultimately it will become a state of mind, disposition. It is not a one day activity. So this you can utilize how to develop a good character as per Aristotle. You have to do that, and ethics is all about this also. जब आप बिहेवियर इन्फ्लुएंस कर रहे हो किसी का, सोसाइटी में आपको कोई एक्ट इंप्लीमेंट करना है, कोई लॉ इंप्लीमेंट करना है, एंड यू हैव टू चेंज द बिहेवियर ऑफ पीपल टुवर्ड्स दैट एक्ट, टुवर्ड्स यूजिंग द सैनिटरी नैपकिन्स, टुवर्ड्स दिस हाइजीन सैनिटेशन, है ना? So he defined virtue as, or virtue or excellence, virtue मतलब excellence होता है कि आपने एक benchmark set कर दिया, right? He defined it as a mean between two extreme of excess and defect. देखो ये होता है defect और excess means दो extreme है, या तो आप बहुत बुरे या तो बहुत अच्छे। means defect क्या है इसका? cowardliness, आप डरे हुए हो। एक होता है कि आप एकदम ब्रूट हो, किसी से भी जाके लड़ रहे हो। एक होता है आप अपनी किसी ढंग की बात के लिए आप अपना मुद्दा नहीं उठा पा रहे हो। So what is the mean of that? courage. आप ये अच्छे से देख लो क्योंकि आप लिख भी सकते हो, एज इट इज टेबल को इंप्लीमेंट कर सकते हो। एक होता है ह्यूमिलिटी, ठीक है, ये डिफेक्ट है ह्यूमिलिटी। एक होता है वेनिटी, ये भी कुछ जाता है, और इसका मीन है प्राइड, दैट यू शुड बी प्राइड ऑफ, ठीक है। वेनिटी मीन्स आप बहुत घमंड से भरे हुए, दैट यू नो समथिंग। ह्यूमिलिटी मीन्स आप बिल्कुल ही एकदम ग्राउंड टू अर्थ हो रखे हो। प्राइड, यू शुड बी प्राउड ऑफ यू, राइट? वन इज फ्रूगल, बिल्कुल ही नहीं खर्चते। वन इज लिबरल, बहुत ज्यादा खर्चते हो। एंड वन इज गिविंग, जहां पर जितना देना है वहां पर आप उतना देखो। सो एज पर हिम वर्च्यू इज मीन, द गोल्डन मीन, दैट एक्सेस एंड डिफेक्ट से बचो एंड यू विल बी अचीविंग द गुडनेस गाइस। इट इज एन एक्सट्रीम और एक्सीलेंस, ठीक है। So this is something which you can utilize for the ethics purpose guys, ठीक है। इसमें एरिस्टोटल में हमें बहुत सारी चीजें नहीं देखनी, बट दोज हु आर PSIR स्टूडेंट, दे हैव टू स्टडी अबाउट थ्योरी ऑफ स्टेट, theory of citizenship, theory of different theories they have to see, but not for ethics purpose we need it. Okay guys, so I'll not be taking your further time. I'll be ending this video with Aristotle. So we have till now completed Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. If any statement comes of Aristotle, you have to apply what we have seen in this. At least these words you have to throw, the golden mean. You have to be activity oriented. In one day you cannot be virtuous. The ultimate virtue is mean path, not going for the excess, not going for the limited or defects, just going for the mean path, right? So this is it in Aristotle. If you are liking the video, guys, do comment that you are connected with me, you are seeing these videos, so that we will continue this. If you are not commenting, otherwise we will stop it and then it will not be continued, right? So do let me know also. Thank you so much, guys.